Having a bad hair day? That's easy to fix. But what about a bad day at work? Or a failed attempt at something you've been working hard on. Fixing that isn't always as easy as fixing your hair. That's where today's topic comes in. Why failing is not the end, but a stepping stone toward progress. We all fail. It's a part of life. From missing a deadline to not achieving a goal or making a mistake, failing is universal. But here's the thing, failure doesn't define you. It's what you do afterward that does. Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Every failure brings you one step closer to success. Now here's some science behind failure. Research shows that the brain actually grows stronger when you learn from mistakes. It's called a growth mindset. So instead of seeing failure as a roadblock, see it as feedback, an opportunity to grow, adapt, and try again. Every time you push through failure, you're rewiring your brain to be more resilient. That's a win in itself. So here are 3 tips to change failure into small wins. Tip number 1, reflect. Take a moment to understand what went wrong and what you can do differently. Tip number 2, reframe. Instead of saying, "I failed," say, "I learned." And tip number 3, restart. Break the task into smaller steps and celebrate each one that you complete. Here's what some people had to say about what failure taught them about success.
I can say that failure has taught me that success is about growth and resilience. A perfect example is I once failed an exam in school, but I pushed myself to study harder, to work smarter, which ultimately helped me to pass my exam upon the next attempt that I had.
What failure has taught me about success? Failure is okay. It's a part of life. And failure does not mean that you can't have success. What I've learned is that failure causes us to change. Because failing would mean that there's something else that you need to do to reach a particular goal. So it allows you to evaluate yourself and see where the gaps are. And once you have done that and try again, which does not necessarily mean that you success at the task. However, not giving up is the most important thing as it relates to being successful. Ultimately, giving up is the failure. Once you haven't given up, still press on, you have not failed. Because failure is learning and growing to become your best self and to be successful. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had the light bulb amongst other great inventions. We wouldn't have had WD-40. So failure is a part of life and it's a part of success. They go hand in hand.
This week, I want to challenge you to think about a recent failure. What did you learn from it? How can you use it to move forward? Remember, every win starts with a lesson learned. So the next time you feel like you failed, remember it's just a part of the journey. Every small win is progress, even if it doesn't feel like it at first. And one of Jamaica's most famous athletes, Usain Bolt, said, "I don't think limits, but you have to fail sometimes to learn. You have to fail in order to improve." Share in the comments, what has failure taught you about success?